Welcome to WSL Post Show, day 3 of the Hawaiian Pro. The first stop here at the Vans Triple Crown of Surfing. Strider Wasilewski hanging out with big wave world champion Pete Mel and commissioner. Pete, a lot of action today. Some above the lip action. Even saw a little barrel from Brett Simpson.
Well, we expected that today. You know, with the decreasing swell, we're going to see some innovation coming in. We're going to see some of those big power moves as well. A nice mix today, and I think there's some exciting heats. We're going to take a look at some of them.
Well, yeah, definitely going to take a look at what happened out there. We've had so much go on today. Really fun to watch the level rise as those CT competitors arrived into the feed today. I mean, going back to it, what do you think of John John?
I love John John. I mean, I think he came into here low pressure. He came into here with wanting a triple crown, already has that world title, so he's got nothing to lose. You know, he's accomplished in all 3 of these venues, from Haleiwa to Sunset Beach to Pipeline especially. So I think that he's one to watch. We also got to see Kelly Slater join the draw here. It's the first time we've seen him actually go in all 3 events at this Vans Triple Crown. So we'll see. He had a really good heat as well.
Well, we've definitely seen the superstars perform today. With that said, on the other side of the draw, Diego just won that last heat. He's down on the beach with Kaipo Guerrero.
Yeah, thank you, Diego. We could tell, that was a hard heat, but that win meant a lot to you. We saw your body English in the water. That was a big heat for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a big heat in paper. I was pretty stoked to have Matt Wilkinson, the 3rd world surfer right now, so pretty stoked to take some big names out. So happy to be here in Haleiwa with the boys, having a lot of fun here.
Well, you know what? We're talking about through your heat, and you're kind of an underdog coming in, but you're making a name for yourself. Let's learn a little bit more about you. You're from France, but you're actually living in Mexico. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. I'm from France, but I live in Mexico in this little town called Sayulita. I have a bunch of friends, and I say hello to them if they're watching. Pura vida. And yeah, I live there since 13 years old now, so I love it over there. Good food, good waves, good people. So yeah, viva Mexico.
I'm sure Mexico's proud of you, and you're on to the round of 32. We're going to see your surfing in finals day. Congratulations.
Thank you, and I want to say a word in French too. Bonjour à la France, à tout le monde qui regarde. Un gros bisou, et on va avec tout. You.
There you go. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Kaipo. Right on, Diego. Multilingual there, that surfer. Looked strong in that heat, Pete.
He sure did. It was not an easy heat. You had Matt Wilkinson, who started off with a bang, but you know what? It went quiet. A guy like Ezekiel Lau, that was a hard loss for him, being that he's right there on that cut line. Needs a result here in one of these next 2 events. This one was a chance for him. Unfortunately, the waves didn't come.
Well, Zeke's going to have to start looking at sunset as he packs his bags, moves over there. But right now, we're going to take a look at some of our favorite heats of the day. So, Pete, what was your favorite heat?
I chose the Leo Fioravanti heat. I think that he's moved to number 2 in the rankings on that qualifying series. He's been leading the entire time, so this was a big heat for him, especially since he saw his fellow compadre, Kanoa Igarashi, lose out in this round of 64. And he went out there and he blueprinted a perfect heat in my eyes. He started off strong, was able to get a big score right off the gates, and then he backed it up with a smart move. He kicks out in front of his competitor, and he knows that he's going to get first priority, and then he gets this wave, and he surfed with some innovation. You see that there? It's our first time we saw really a big turn on that second section where it was tail and fins released. He looked really confident, and then he even built on top of this wave as well. So 3 waves surfed, all of them above a 7. So I just liked how he surfed. And then also in this heat, we saw Hobson Santos. He had a 9.37, so we saw solid scores produced by the top 2 contenders. And I think that, knowing that the score line for Leo has to get into the semifinals if he wants to overtake that lead back from Kanoa, I think this is driving him. I know that he wants that QS win. He's already probably found himself on that championship tour. So solid result for him already in this early round. I just loved his confidence.
And Santos with a huge point total himself, 16.27. That's an all-out blitz through that heat. Leonardo, 17.37. Really did surf almost a perfect heat out there. I love your pick, Pete. It was really fun to watch Leo really light up and look like he was finding a flow out there at Haleiwa.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I'm saying is that he's always been really confident, and he always makes good choices. So I just liked how he surfed in this event. I like how he's, he's going to be coming up against some really big names in this event. He's been surfing the qualifying series the entire year, but this last 2 events on the qualifying series, these Vans Triple Crown events, are going to be the toughest of the entire year.
Well, there you have it. Well, the heat that I picked was Heat 9. Heat 9 just had the ups and downs all the way down to the dying seconds, and that's what I love about these heats is that it's not over until that horn blows. And let me tell you, it looked like Gudauskas was going to be taking this thing down. Tanner was just cracking away at the lip, having fun out there. Looked like he was just getting into rhythm. Started out here and really looked like he had what it took, right? He's got that backhand whip. He's all up in the lip. And then Colapinto showed up. Southern California representing pretty hard as this thing got started. But don't forget, you had the big man in this thing, Jordy Smith. And Jordy Smith was watching these guys go to town in the beginning of this heat and then said, I'm here to play.
Well, you look at what Griffin did. He got that 8.5 early and then sat, and it was quiet. Didn't even have another opportunity. Whereas then you saw Tanner and Jordy take control of the heat, but it was this.
It was definitely that. This is probably the move of the event, probably one of the biggest moves I've ever seen in this event, period. He hit that thing with such velocity that he wasn't even going into the wind. The wind was still going across, and his board still stuck to his feet, meaning that he was going so fast through that maneuver that just sheer speed kept that board connected to the board, to his feet, to the board. It was amazing to see him pull that out at the end. Griffin Colapinto with an 18.20. The youngster took down one of his favorite surfers of all time, Jordy Smith, with a 14.77 total. Both of those guys going through. Jordy looking really good out there, as well as Griffin Colapinto. And what a heartbreak for Tanner Gudauskas on that one.
Well, especially since we talk about when that went down. Literally, it was a countdown. 3, 2. It was almost a question if he had gotten up in time. Judges deemed yes, he did, and then he found his way into that 9.37 with just the hugest big air that we've seen in the entire event.
I think one of the best maneuvers I've ever seen at this event, period. That being said, this venue changes so much through the days. I mean, we saw gigantic walls out here yesterday, up into 20-foot faces. Now we're seeing kind of just head-high, high-performance waves. The wave changes so much out here, Pete.
That's so true. I mean, yesterday, again, we saw it was 8 to 10 feet, and hoping today was going to hold that size. Ross was actually mentioning, you know, he's never seen Haleiwa quite drop that quickly throughout a day. It happens. You have to make those adjustments, and even we saw this afternoon, a couple lefts came into play in the end of it, and that's how Haleiwa is. You got to be able to make those adjustments. You got to be able to do them quickly. We even saw Jadson Andre change boards during a heat.
Well, Pete knows. He called it this morning when we talked about it. He did say we were going to be going to the left this afternoon. That happened, and right now we're going to check out the GoPro breakdown with Dane Gudauskas.
What's up? I'm Dane Gudauskas. We're down here at Haleiwa Beach Park for the first stop of the Vans Triple Crown, and this is the Hawaiian Pro. So Haleiwa is kind of located on the southern stretch of the 7 Mile Miracle. One of the cool things about Haleiwa is that when it's small, it's a great place for all the local groms to just go out and get a couple waves after school, but when it steps up to that big range, it really challenges the best in the world to go nuts. It's just heavy commitment, big motorboating right coming across the reef, and gosh, you have to be heavily committed to just get that score and just finish it on the dry reef toilet bowl section. So no shortage of fireworks. If it's small or huge, either way you go, it's going to be a great show. You never know what you're going to get. In the Triple Crown, it could be 1 foot or 20 feet, and you got to be ready for anything. So Haleiwa is definitely a perfect example of you got to be ready for anything. You got to show up and give it your best.
The G-Boys breaking it down on the GoPro breakdown. That was Gudauskas' brother Dane, and you know what? All three of those guys having so much fun. They're partnered with Vans on a really cool project, making products, apparel, shoes. They've got everything going for ocean awareness for the youth. A great project between Positive Vibe Warriors and the Vans company. But that brand has been around supporting this event. It's so great to see. With that said, what are we going to see coming up here, Pete? We got the forecast from Surfline right down the pipe.
Well, let's take a look at that. I mean, right now we've seen a declining swell, and that's pretty obvious as you look over our shoulder. So we're going to see a little bit of that going forward for the next couple days. That big swell that we had has already passed us. We're going to have that little green mark, and then we're going to see some swell coming in for Friday. That northwest swell is going to come out of that northerly direction. It could be very similar to what we saw on day 1 of competition. It shows up Friday, pretty much our Thursday afternoon. We'll probably have that swell hold through the entire day on Friday. We only have 1 more day of competition, so Marty Thomas and Travis Logie are going to have to pick that out. As you see, it kind of tapers off and drops through even tonight, and then this is the 3-day forecast. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is that bump and swell, and even Saturday. So again, we're going to have some of that trade wind blowing, which is fine for here at Haleiwa. It's going to keep it nice and clean. And then we have that bigger swell for Friday. Of course, we will be back here in the morning at 7 a.m. making a check, but likely Friday is the day.
Well, there you go. Looking like Friday, but you never know. We could be right back here first thing in the morning, as we always get surprised by Mother Nature. And that's what's so great about the sport. We just got to get down on the beach and check, be committed, get ready for it. It's talking about commitment. There's some big calls to be made about who's going to win this event, Pete. And I'm just going to ask you, who's your pick?
Well, we've looked at John already. We've looked at Jordy. We've looked at Kelly Slater. I like Jordy. I think he's going to come in under the radar here. It's going to be a little bit bigger on Friday. He's going to make the right choices. He's going to take the win this World Cup, or sorry, this Hawaiian Open or Hawaiian Pro.
Well, there you go. Pete's got his pick with Jordy Smith, which is a great call.
Yours?
He is in form. He's ripping across the waves. He's actually looking like he's killing it in the small stuff with bigger waves forecasted. That big frame could fit perfectly into it.
All right. So who's your call?
You know, I was going to go with the Portuguese surfers, Vasco and Frederico Moraes, but I think I pulled back a little bit. I think that they're surfers that are going to be there into the final series, but I really have to say that I think that Slater is going to show up to a final and win. I feel like he's in tune. He came over here early. He's got all of his equipment down here. We are forecasted to see more surf, and we know how excited Kelly gets when there's waves. We've seen him in the smaller surf today, which I was really impressed with, and I think he's tuned up and ready to go on some sizable rights. We heard Ross Williams say that this is one of his favorite waves, and I really feel like he's got the taste of blood in his mouth. He really wants another win to get himself started because of the announcement of the campaign for next year. He wants a 12th world title, so I'm going to pick Kelly Slater.
All right. Well, I mean, if you look at what he's done, 95, 98, a Triple Crown champion here, but never has won here at Haleiwa, never won at Sunset Beach. Those are two big events that he's never taken out, so maybe that's a little bit of drive.
Well, that's going to wrap up the Hawaiian Pro, the very first stop here at the Vans Triple Crown of Surf. Strider Wasilewski and Pete Mel are going to sign off and leave you with the highlights package of an amazing day of surfing.
Welcome to day 3 of the 2016 Hawaiian Pro Stop 1 of Vans Triple Crown of Surfing.
Keanu Asing just put a nail in it, baby.
Kelly Slater, left-time world champion, quick, hard carving snap straight up into the pocket. There's that competitive fire.
Fioravante right away, bingo, nice first turn. Comes off the bottom. There's the lip line crack. Wow.
Watch out, Griffin Colapinto. An upside down frontside air.
Wow.
Take 9.93 for Griffin Colapinto. Jumps from 3rd to 1st place, knocking Tanner Gadowskis down to 3rd.
Vasco Ribeiro, the big man from Portugal, comes off the bottom, cracks off the top, pushing water up into it. Bam!
Federico Moraes, big hacking carve to start this wave. Big finish from Jordy Smith.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.